Whoa, hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuits, and I have two quick things I gotta do. Tonight's my game night, so the first thing I want to do is I want to paint up this miniature. Now, this is a miniature from the Underdusk miniatures that I complained about, and this one actually has a little bit of detail to it, and I'm going to use this to make a custom creature. I'm not going to do any modifications to it, I don't think. I'm just going to paint it as is, but I'm going to call it the Arangot, or the Terrordillo, like an armadillo monster. And then this is going to be a barrel that I'm going to be using in multiple scenarios where it's some kind of goo the evil forces are trying to get in people's water supply. And I'll need more barrels of it down the road, but for now I'm going to use just the one. So let's start with the Arangot. This is going to be a really easy paint job. I'm going to start with a dark brown. And I'm just using Dollar Tree burn umber for this. And I'm going to get a small enough brush that I can get pretty good coverage and hit all of them with it. Now that brush is shot. I need to take better care of some of these brushes. All right, here's something that's bigger and plastic, and this will work for what I want. So I'm gonna get a little bit of water, some paint, and then I'm just gonna, with this watered down dark brown, I'm gonna coat them pretty evenly with that. And I'm not trying to do a great job, because I need this in a couple hours. And I still need that barrel too for tonight. You're probably thinking to yourself, why? Why are you waiting till the last minute? Well, because I made a train car on video yesterday. Then I decided I need more train cars. And then I got to bed kind of late. And then I was like, well, it's too late to be doing all this stuff. Too late. Even I need to sleep. Sweeney doesn't sleep. That dude doesn't sleep. I sleep. Now, I'm not going for perfection here, and if a little bit of that white shows through, I'm not going to call that the end of the world. Because when you're doing a quick paint job like this, sometimes just rushing and doing okay turns out looking a lot better than you ever thought it could. And this is definitely going to be a rush job for sure. Okay, so I got him pretty evenly coated. And I got most of the spots. I'm going to get this deep brown from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to do this base. I'm just going to half-ass do it. And I don't care how perfect it is or isn't. Because once you start doing like this painted desert look, it seems like you can kind of make anything work on it. Okay. And we're going to call that a victory. I'm going to get a little bit more of that dark brown. Catch that little toe I missed. Because it's all white and it's noticeable. I'm going to set that in front of the fan while we work on this barrel. All right, my fan's kind of far away. No problem. All right, so let's just do this base in dark brown. And we'll use this as a generic color we can kind of put anywhere. A buddy of mine's ordered his girlfriend a beautiful wedding engagement ring. And it's all black. I wanted to ask questions about it, but I didn't want to be annoying. So I just kind of said, wow, that's cool. But then I was like, man, I really want to know what that is. I love that. I bet you Melinda would like something like that. Melinda's Lady Doom's name. I'm going to use this Christmas Green by Apple Barrel, and this is very old. I've had this a long time. I don't know where I got it. I don't remember purchasing it. But it's a nice, obnoxious green color, and it will suffice for the base coat of my barrel of poison. Now, I don't know if we're going to get to the exposure to this chemical tonight in the Western campaign, but if we do, I'll have a barrel of it handy, because I want them to have a visual cue that something's wrong. So if they see a barrel, all the barrels around are brown, and one of them's green on the table on the miniatures, like, I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm going to let them visually see that one's different and be like, oh, what's going on here? Couple comments about Tomorrow Comes Doom, the Frontier. My vampires are kind of weak, like D&D vampires in my regular fantasy game. And then in my sci-fi game, there are space vampires, but they're like a race from a planet, and they're vampiric in nature, but they're friendly. But in this, vampires are more like your fast-moving, manipulative killers. It's pretty good right there. We'll get some cardboard. We're going to get this English ivy and a soft brush, kind of drag it around on there and get a different look. Something like that should be good. Yep, that'll do her. Let's get a thin brush and do a metallic on there. And where's my metallic brown? There it is. Cool. I haven't taken a Motrin, plus I'm shaking. I usually take a Motrin around 3 o'clock. It helps with inflammation and discomfort. I did not do that. Little boys are in their room crafting. If you hear some noise in the background, that's just them talking and such, being little boys. Before I started recording, we were talking. They need to do some cleaning in their shop. I need to do some cleaning in mine too. My buddy Jason came to D&D for the first time last week. We played 2 nights. He stayed deep from the middle of Ohio, so we had to make a trek to get here. And we had a really nice time, and I'm glad he came. But my little boys were so excited to have someone new to show their craft room off to. It was really funny. All right, let's clean that brush. And we're going to start on this side here. I'm going to get some of this purple. This is called Purple Pansy. It's pretty dark. And I'm going to get some in this crack here. I'm going to dribble it down. I'm going to drag it around onto the base some. Okay, something like that. And I'm done with that. That'll get a clear coat if I decide to use one. And that'll be that. Now let's go get the Arangot or Terradillo. All right, he's mostly dry. I'm going to hit him with the hot air real quick to make sure he's dry all the way. And then we'll get started on him. Oh, look at that shit. There we go. Bang, get on there, you. Okay. Okay. Now we need a dry brush for him. I'm getting a medium brown. This is actually kind of a lighter brown called Territorial Beige. And let's get this Arangot done up fancy. Okay, we're going to take that and immediately we're going to do some splotching around on the base. And then we're just going to hit him with a really light dry brush everywhere we can, but we're not going to kill ourselves. And we're not going for perfection. We're just trying to get something that we can put on the table that's going to be scary and maybe a little memorable. And next time they hear the rumor of an Arangot, they won't make jokes. They'll be like, oh shit. Not saying they did, but... Well, any of you that have played tabletop games, you know how players get when they've had too many victories. So, similar to the giant boule buffalo, this is a burrowing creature. But this one can swim through a rock, too, not just dirt. And this one is here to ruin the day. It only comes when the land has been destroyed. When you've done something to corrupt the land, the Arangot comes to restore balance. And even though the party's not the ones who destroy the land, the people that they're fighting against the evil to protect and the evil itself are disturbing the land and provoking the wrath of the Arangot. I want to get a little bit on the base and just dab that around. Something like that. Okay. One last step on the Arangot. I'm going to get a kind of a smaller brush. Oh, wrong color. I'm going to grab my favorite color in the entire world, pavement. Then with wetted down pavement, which I think mine's pretty damp. Yeah, mine's pretty wet, but it's maybe too not wet enough. So we'll get some water, and we're going to do his armor plates with a really watered down pavement. And then I'm going to set him in front of the fan to dry. And this doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to kind of ballpark this. Perfection will not help him look any better because it's just not a great mini, if I'm going to be honest. But I will say this, for what I need it for, it's good. It's very good for what I need it for. I'm just using more watered down paint here. Getting these plates. Probably could have watered that down a tad more than I did. And then I want to dry brush his face with a little bit of pink. Because I think it would look good. When I was in the Army, I was stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia for a long, long time, like 6 years, I think. Almost 6 years. And there were armadillos down there. And you would see them on the side of the road with signs that said, like, free pet, and they'd be like laying on their back drinking a beer because when they die, they kind of squinch up and can hold a beer bottle and stuff. It's pretty funny. Maybe it wasn't that funny. I don't know. I remember it being funny. I remember like one time I saw 2 yellow balloons floating next to the road, and I slowed down and looked at it. It was an armadillo that was laying there with, like, he was holding balloons. They were tied to his little hand. And I mind you, like, people were not killing them out of cruelty on purpose. It was just like they were everywhere and they got hit by cars. And then somebody would see it on the side of the road and they'd go, do one of these silly things to it. Nobody was like out maliciously killing them to do this. It was just kind of, situational. I don't want to give the impression there were American soldiers were out there hunting down armadillos to make jokes. No, it was just if they got hit, I think people were just being silly. There was this one place, it was like right out in front of where like some on-base housing was, and I always, I think somebody was going for walks and finding them and then dragging them back there to do silly stuff with them. I saw one with a set of Mr. Potato Head glasses one time. Okay, I'm going to do this little bit of whatever this is on his head here too. I think that's supposed to be plated. And then we're going to do the pink on the face, like I said. The pink I'm using is called Cameo Pink. It's a little bit obnoxious. Oh, I forgot to pull my car up. I got to pull my car up. We got to get like 4 or 5 cars here tonight for a game night, so can't be. I'm just dragging that out. My brush is damp. And then I'm going to come in here and do his face in pink. Just like that. And I would not normally recommend putting a bunch of effort into something like this. But I have desires to make this guy looking to his right. I'm going to get a little bit of black. And I'm just going to make like a black outline, a black line under his eyes. Why? I don't know why. Just because I am. I'm just going to get my brush damp. Let me get that black. I'm just going to kind of drag it along his fingers. Well, a little bit. I'm not going out of my way to make it super detailed. Okay, where are we at? 17 minutes. That's not bad. I think that'll do it. All right. So real quick before we go, here's the deal with the Arangot. Let me get a little more purple on there. So the Arangot is essentially a protector of nature. He lives in harmony with everybody. But he's also kind of like one of those FAFO dudes. If you piss with nature, it draws his attention. And he kind of watches. He's not really intelligent per se. He can understand some speech. But more so his intelligence is in the wisdom of knowing the land and the world. So whenever you draw his attention, he comes and kind of watches what's happening. Gets an idea how things are going. And then he uses that, where he gathers that intel from observation to make a decision. And his decision isn't made by any personal choice of his. It's made by the natural thoughts and knowledge he has about what's being done to the planet. So, for example, if you're ripping a mountainside down and destroying the homes of animals to build a railroad, well, if it's enough damage to where it draws his attention when he does come, you might not like what he does. He might, kill your workers, destroy your equipment, knock over piles of stone and try to restore things the best he can. And then when he thinks he wins, he'll leave and go on to his next big thing. However, these are neutral creatures. So if you're in the middle of a brawl with evil, he's not taking your side. He's going to look at you all as people that are hurting the world, and he's going to attack anybody. So the Arangot is not a joke. And maybe the forces of good or evil will find that out very soon. So anyways, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and hey, leave a comment. That's all the stuff that the great spirits of the algorithm require of us. So let's go ahead and try to do that stuff to make sure we're safe. Also, come to the website, www.dungeon-swag.com. And if you look in the description now or later, there will be a discount code where you can get a nice little bonus off of your first month's box of Dungeon Swag Minis if you go to our subscription. Our subscription's sick. You get a box of miniatures in the mail every month, whether it's going to be gnolls or orcs or what have you, to help populate your table. They're high quality, they're durable, and they're beautiful, and they're not like that dude. So anyways, we have a Discord. There's going to be a link to that. If it doesn't work, hit me up in the comments. We'll try to figure out how we can get you on there, and we'll figure it out. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.